Does Adam Silver and the NBA hate the 76ers? What have we done? So, yes, I think the NBA hates the Philadelphia 76ers. The schedule is completely unfair to us. I mean, I know there's always going to be a team that claims to be unfairly treated, but I just find it funny it's happened, like just after we've been investigated. So, yeah, it's an absolute joke. The NBA, the front office, there's something about, first Colangelo and now this. So for me, that schedule from March 20th to April 9th is an absolute joke. Absolute joke. You got Chicago twice, Golden State, Phoenix, Denver, Dallas, Toronto, Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, Atlanta, Brooklyn. It's 12 games. It's going to be extremely tough. All those are playoff teams. Golden State are the best team currently and probably still going to be a top four team at least this season. Boston are unfortunately a top four team. So are Milwaukee. And then you've got these, and Brooklyn obviously are going to be a good team potentially if KD and Kyrie get it sorted. I just think it's really tough and out of order. From the NBA, there's a clear hatred there. Nobody likes us, and we don't care. A song famously sang by Millwall football team in here in England because of their culture and their sort of background, which we adopt after we won the Super Bowl with Kelsey and his amazing speech that I'll never forget and one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, there's a definite bias here, and I'm definitely Philly versus everybody. I'm going to definitely invest in the Philly versus everybody sort of jumper or t-shirt, and I think that's what the players should be wearing. I think there's a clear sort of indication here of that the league doesn't like us, and they really do think that we've done something, sort of out of the ordinary, dodgy, as we would say in England. And I don't think that's the case. We've just done things right. It's the league's fault for having a salary cap, and we're just trying to make it work. If we were like baseball or football, European football, then we wouldn't have to worry about salary caps and things, and we could do it. And I know that makes it an unfair advantage for teams, but it is what it is, and we're just playing by the rules and we're doing it. There's a lot worse going on in NCAA. LeBron James, like I've said in the previous video, just as bad, just as worse. So for me, I'm really upset about the NBA and what they've done here. I think it's a real clear sort of you don't like us. And there's another bit where there's a stretch where we don't play for 3 or 4 days. We go on a West Coast trip and then we've got back to back stuff. It's like, it's just so frustrating. There's a clear sort of bias, in my opinion, that the NBA doesn't like us. Now, obviously, I can't prove that. Like they can't prove that we've done something behind the scenes that doesn't quite fit in with the league protocol. So, we're both just accused. I'm just going to accuse the league that they're accusing us of stuff. You can't prove it, but let's see how it plans out and see what happens with the investigation because that's still on pending. But if we get penalised for that as well, I'll be really annoyed. But I think this is a proof that we're probably not going to get penalised. I can't find anything, and this is their way of penalising us. So thanks, Adam Silver, absolute legend that you are, for sorting that out. Hopefully we can shove it down your throat with the NBA championship at the end of this season. But the reason why that schedule winds me up even more is if we do happen to get Kevin Durant, that's going to be a real tough schedule just before the playoffs to expect your three superstars to play every game or play majority of the games, and we might have to win games to get the home court. So this is why I'm against the Kevin Durant trade, because of what we have to give up. Now, would I want Kevin Durant on our team? Absolutely. But what we've got to give up is just not right. So we need to hope that there's a good buyout market. We need to hope that the bench players develop and some players develop and we're okay. And we maybe make the trade later in the season. Or Maxey takes that other step that we need to do and we just forget about Kevin Durant and go, actually, we've got another superstar on our hands. Or potential superstar, sorry, on our hands. But yeah, I'm just really frustrated. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really sort of frustrated by this, and I think I'll probably call 97.5 maybe today or tomorrow and let my main man cousin Tunis know that I'm not happy with it. I'm really not happy with it. But that's my Sixers stuff today. So my Eagles stuff. I mean, for me, like the Jalen Hurts stuff isn't been great. With some of the criticism that I've seen them receive. It's not been even, not been fair. So that's been my biggest bad bug for the Eagles. But otherwise, I'm really happy. The Jets game, there was some good moments from that. There's been some good reports from training camps, been some good clips, and I know the team aren't going to share, sort of things that aren't going well, but things that are going well, it's great. And I really think when they have the joint practices and you get to see those, that's when we're going to know. When you get the reporters that are there on camp and seeing it all, reporting, because like they said now, and I do fully agree, is preseason games don't matter as much now. It's those intercamp matches, those intercamp sort of training schedules. When you're going up against those other teams. Yes, both quarterbacks obviously going to be red shirted, but like those battles on the offensive line and defensive line versus the other offensive line, defensive line, that's where you get to see it, and that's where games are won, right? I I purely believe that it's one in the trenches. If you don't have that good offensive line, it is going to cause you problems. And for me, the defensive line last year was okay. It wasn't great, and I think this year it is great. And I think that's where you're going to see a lot of the pressure coming in. I do think we're going to get more strips, more sacks. I don't think it's going to be a lot of balls going over the top now. Like they will try it because the safety position isn't great. So I think the safety is going to sit back, and I think they're going to try and pop us over like Brady did. But not every quarterback's got that ability. But I'm hoping with the pressure we can put on with our front seven, that's going to stop it from happening. I think we've got one of the best front sevens in the NFL. And I'm probably going to pick the Eagles in my defense, for my defense in any of the drafts that I do. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm putting all my money and all my eggs into the Eagles defense. I think we're going to have one of the top 5 defenses in the league. I think we've got one of the top 5 to 10 range wide receiver or receiving cores, because obviously I don't want to leave that squad out there. So I'm really looking forward to the season and everything that's going on so far with the Eagles. So fingers crossed, I will hopefully be at an Eagles game at this season, because I've never been to the Link. I watched Eagles in Wembley. I'm hoping to be there. I'm hoping I can like film bits of it, sort of thing, and kind of meet some of the guys that I'm friends with on social media that I've met, and who I've met in person through Sixers games and things, and people that speak to me via 97.5 and other channels that I use to communicate with all you guys. So yeah, please, just one last thing from me. Please like and share the video if you can. I was hoping to generate enough sort of interest that I could come to FanFest in a couple of weeks, 97.5 FanFest. I can still potentially go. I just need to raise a bit of funds for that. But yeah, if not, I'm definitely going to go to an Eagles game this year. I'd love to go an Eagles Cowgirls game. That'd be like sort of my number one thing. But yes, before I go, please like, subscribe, share the video or whatever, and leave comments below. Let me know what you want me to do. I'm hoping to get some guests on in the next couple of weeks. I will try and get a big name. I'll try and use what I can to get someone on. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. Go Birds, and let's go Sixers.